Landon, we have a monstrous episode in store for today. Not different, but I guess a little bit different. We're recording this at the start of the second half.
We're trying to record while watching the second half of the Texans-Steelers game. So hopefully we've timed it up right where you're going to get like live reactions to the end of that one. But yeah, wild card weekend. We needed this. We needed this, Ben.
This one, outside of one game, they've all been phenomenal. I mean, I've always pushed back against the NFL is scripted, but dude, if it is scripted, man, whoever's writing it, give them an Oscar right now. Give them an Oscar.
Got freaking Mark Twain writing these scripts.
Unreal. Saturday might be some of the best football I've ever watched.
Before we get into the games. Like the MLB and NBA, like there's a joke amongst fans of those leagues, like, but it's true. If they don't have the Yankees, if they don't have the Dodgers, if they don't have the Red Sox or, Celtics, Lakers in the playoffs, people don't watch those leagues. Like those leagues are dependent on, like, you need the big teams. The NFL, dude, who's been the biggest team the last half decade? Chiefs, they're not in it. Nobody cares. Everybody watches. Games are awesome. The NFL runs the world, man. They flat out run the world.
I love a clip.
They gave us
a clip I
this
saw
weekend.
of Rich Eisen on his show. He was talking about how the NFL is going to regret not having all you Chiefs haters or Chief fatiguers, you're going to regret not having the Chiefs in it. And all of the comments were, dude, we're actually having a great time. We're having the time of our lives right now.
Yeah. I mean, villains are good for leagues, right? You need villains. That's why the Chiefs have been so good for football the last half decade. But the NFL doesn't need it. Too many people gamble. Too many people.
Fantasy football also is like
love
a
their
huge
team. It doesn't
benefactor. I think. I genuinely think fantasy gives the NFL such a massive boost because people fall in love with certain players. That's why you aren't dominated by the franchises.
Yep.
Because you've got people with Bryce Young on their fantasy team this year. They were watching the Panthers. They might not be Panthers fans, but Bryce Young was my quarterback, so I'm watching the Panthers. So it just. Everything for the NFL, in my opinion, it just works for them. So,
it just works.
How do we want to tell them how we're going to do this? So we've you and I have notes on all these games basically, but you have got. We're gonna go game by game.
Yeah,
you're
going
to kind of recap everything.
Yeah, I'm going to go through because these games, so much happens, and it's just hard to remember. Even like the big plays and the order and stuff. So I'm just going to kind of recap the games, and then we'll talk about each one of them. I'm not going to recap maybe Chargers, Patriots, just because that one was a little bit out of hand. But these close games, I just want to go through just to show you how awesome these games were and how fun they were. So we're going to start 4:30 window on Saturday. Rams, Panthers, and Ben, this one was expected to be a blowout going in. We talked about it last week. We were like,
we expected, but the way it happened took us all by surprise.
Yeah. Yeah. So just go through it. Panthers get the ball. They're aggressive early. If you remember, Canales, we talk about Ben Johnson being aggressive. Canales was aggressive early too. They went for fourth down. They don't get it. If you will remember, the first 4 plays of the game for the Rams, it went Puka, little short run, Puka touchdown. This is what we were dealing with. And at that point, I'm thinking, dude, this might be, I think Josh texted, he's like 30-7 or something. Yeah. That's what, we were like, this game is over. And by the way, here's a take. You know what would work every single time, Ben? Every single play? You line up a wide receiver at the running back spot and run that little angle route. No one can cover that. I don't know why teams don't do it every time. That's what Puka scored on. It was a little bit deeper than an angle, but no.
CJ Stroud. My gosh. Reminder, we are watching the Texans game live.
We'll talk about this game.
We got to wait. It's just going on.
Oh my gosh.
We got CJ
okay,
takes.
Anyways. keep going. But anyway, so Puka scores on that, and then after that, you get a Bryce pick. Bryce throws an interception, and the Rams go down, and Puka gets another touchdown. At this point, 14-0. Bryce has already thrown a pick. It's in the second quarter at this point, and I'm thinking, and I'm going to give a lot of credit to Bryce here later. This could have gotten away from him. First playoff game, you're playing the Rams, who are an excellent team, right? Absolutely excellent team. And you're down 14. You've made a mistake. You've thrown a pick, whatever. And then, and this is where they find themselves. And then they answer, actually, with a good TD. Like, they come back, score a touchdown. And at that point, I'm like, okay, Panthers, they've had 3 drives. They've actually moved the ball in 2 of them. Bryce just ended 1 with a pick. Rams make a field goal at that time. It's 17-7. Panthers go 3 and out. Rams go 3 and out. And then you have the muffed punt. And this is the turning point of the game. So the Panthers muff a punt. Was it Trevor Etienne, I believe? Muffs a punt. The Rams get it at like their 30 or 35, like inside the 30-yard line, I think. They get 4th and 3, minute and 39 left in the first half. And this is like the first decision point of the game. And McVay chooses to go for it. Now, at this point, I actually wrote down in my notes before they went for it, I was like, I'm going to take the field goal here just for momentum purposes. Like, you can't get a turnover that far in their, like, the opponent's half of the field and get no points.
We're going to talk about that. That's going to be a recurring theme of the wild card weekend.
Yeah. Happened 3 times this weekend. But they choose to go for it, and they don't get it. And then, if you'll remember, it's 17-7, and Bryce has the best moment of his career. He drives them down, and he has, like, what, a 15-yard rushing touchdown? Like, is that not the best moment of Bryce Young's career?
That was the moment when I'm like, oh, we could be actually heading towards a close game.
Yeah, that's the moment where it was like, this is a ball game. Like, it's 17-14 at the time. Stafford has hurt his hand by this point, and my goodness, if you listen to the broadcast, they love talking about that hand. I don't know how much of a factor it really was, but they just kept going on and on about it. So, 17-14, the Rams get the ball back. They don't score. The score at half is 17-14, but if you'll remember, Puka had a touchdown down the sideline, wide open, and he drops it. Remember that play? I mean, I've never seen Puka that open. And, I mean, it is a walk-in touchdown. And he drops it. And that's a huge part of the game. But at halftime, I remember thinking, like, it doesn't feel like the Rams are outplaying the Panthers. Like, it was a 3-point game. But you know how sometimes, like, it feels like one team's dominating, and then you look at halftime, you're like, oh, man, it's only a 3-point game. That's not what it felt like. It felt like, man, these are two.
They were going at it.
Teams at the half. Yeah. They were going at it. But it's like, okay, Rams get the ball coming out of halftime. They'll probably go down and score. Nope. 3 and out. And then the Panthers go down and get a field goal. Tie it 17-17. Rams get a field goal. And then the Panthers turn it over on downs. And a huge play in the game. Stafford throws a pick with 1:14 left in the third quarter. And they're up 3 at that point. And then Bryce has his next biggest play of his biggest drive of his career when he goes down. He has the 50-yard completion to Coker and then throws the Panthers score a touchdown. Chuba Hubbard runs a touchdown in. And at that point, Ben, it is 24-20 Panthers, and it's the fourth quarter.
Yeah. When we got to that, the fourth quarter, that had to have been the Panthers' plan. If we can get to the fourth quarter, it's wide open.
Yeah, and I mean, at that point, Bryce is putting 2 great drives together, and it's just, and he's made mistakes, right? He threw the pick, but they capitalized on the Stafford pick.
He didn't make any. The pick was early. He didn't make any back-breaking mistakes in this one.
No, he didn't. And we'll give our overview at the end, but like, he was really good. The Rams answer with a touchdown, the little Kyren angle, another angle route, touchdown to Kyren. But here's what people will forget. This drive, this is in the fourth quarter. This is the drive when Puka
that
had the
saved
interception
the game.
breakup.
That genuinely saved the Rams season.
Saved the game. Literally, because at that point, they're down 4. If he gets that interception, it's Panthers' ball. I don't remember exactly. I mean, it was like 6 or 7 minutes or something like that. And it's Panthers' ball. You know, it's a touchback because he was in the end zone. Puka breaks it up. They go down and get a touchdown. Then the Panthers go 3 and out, right? Rams get it back. They're going to punt, and with 4 minutes and 12 seconds left, Carolina blocks the punt. I mean, that was like, at that point, the Rams were up 27-24. So the Panthers are like up 3 or down 3 or whatever. But I'm like, dude, they might win. Like, I didn't think they were going to win at any point until that moment. They block a punt and get the ball right there. I'm like, dude, this could be over. And then Bryce throws the touchdown to Coker in the corner of the end zone with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. And the Panthers have the lead with 2:40 left, 31-27. And it's like, at that point, the turnover margin was 2-2 if you count the punt block as a turnover for the Rams. Like, it's not like the Panthers had 4 turnovers and the Panthers caused 4 turnovers and the Rams didn't have any. I mean, it was right there.
I think I text at the block punt. I think I text our group chat. I'm like, dude, it really is 50-50 the Panthers win this game.
Yeah. That's where we were. They were down 3 with the ball. They go down, they score. And then Stafford gets the ball back.
Completion by Aaron.
38 seconds left, throws the touchdown. Yeah, throws the touchdown to Parkinson's, and that kind of sealed the game. Honestly, for a half a second, though, Ben, half a second in the back of my mind, it was like 38 seconds. I'm like, did they score too quick? Like, that hit my brain. That's how well Bryce was playing, but man, Bryce had really some good moments in this one.
I mean, I have to think this is the game of Bryce Young's life.
But obviously, they fall final 34-31.
The pick aside, this was the game of his life.
Yeah. Again, and he threw 2 picks.
No, he only had 1.
Right? Or was it just 1? Yeah, he only had 1. But at this point, early in the second quarter, this looked like it was going to be like Bryce disaster game, Rams blowout, and some of the things on the board is like, this is the last time Bryce plays for the Panthers. Like, that was on the board early in that second quarter because, they made the playoffs this year, 8-9, but we've talked about it. Like, he hasn't done enough to earn, like, really a spot anywhere on this roster if he has a disaster in this game. Instead, he turns around, makes like 3 or 4 huge plays, and I think he's earned himself the 5th-year option at least.
I think I'm not as down. I don't know exactly where you guys are, but I feel like I'm not quite as down on Bryce as maybe I don't know where you or Josh are on him, but some people are still down on him. Man, I'm not saying he's elite or he's great. He's shown me some flashes this year to where this guy, with Dave Canales, he can be a competent quarterback. And dare I say, sometimes a playmaker for this team.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's earned the 5th-year option, I think. I think that was in question coming into this game. And I don't think this is year 3, which is, for the elite guys, it's when they get extended. It's when they get their extension. I don't think he's there. I don't think he's getting that. But I think the 5th-year option was in question coming into this game, and I don't think it is anymore. I think that's almost a lock at this point that they picked that up for him. So, really good for him. They went 4 for 4 in the red zone.
Yeah. I mean, that was the path they had to win this game.
Really good. They came away with points every time. I mean, and Canales opened up, and he was aggressive on 4th down, and he should have been. Right? That is like when you're the outmatched team, which they were, right? They played well, but they were outmatched. I love when a coach comes out and is aggressive in those spots.
Yeah. No, I do too. I mean, that was the path, and it was always going to be the path. Is they can't make any mistakes like that. They have to force turnovers, which they did. They have to limit the mistakes on their turnovers, which more or less they did. But I mean, they were perfect in the red zone. this was best case scenario for the Panthers, and I don't think any Panthers fans are even upset about this. I mean, they were genuinely hoping just not to get blown out.
Yeah, they were excellent. They were excellent. So, and like I said, I mean that defense made it tough. I mean the Rams are really good offensively. I come away with some questions about their defense, but they're really good offensively, and the Panthers made it tough on them all game. Like, there was a couple quick drives, but mostly, like, it was like a grinded-out game for the Rams for big parts of that game, and so tip your cap to the Panthers. But
on the Rams side, they move on. They're going to be playing – oh, shoot. Who do they play? Do they go to they don't go to Seattle, do they?
No, they got I don't know. It's not Seattle. I don't know who it is.
Let's see. Let's just pull it right there. No, they're going to the
Bears. They go to Chicago. Okay. Yeah, they go to Chicago.
That's a good matchup. Yeah. It's a good matchup for the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the biggest play of the game for them, the one that turned it, was missing that fourth down in the second quarter when it was 17-7. You could have made it 20-7. You could have kept the momentum. They miss it, and the Panthers immediately go down and score a touchdown. And then it was like, it wasn't deer in headlights, but I mean, you could tell, like, oh, this is a game. Like, it kind of hit them at that point. We're like, we're only up 3 right now.
This team is kind of putting it to us right now.
Yeah. And this pass defense is gettable. I don't know. I mean, they pressured Bryce a little bit, but, like, Jared Verse did not make a stamp on this game. None of that young defensive line that we talked about all last year, like, it didn't feel like they weren't determining anything in the game. You know, I mean, they had moments, I guess, but this pass defense is gettable, and the Bears can exploit that for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we'll talk about the Bears in a minute, but yeah. Also, Aaron Rodgers is furious right now.
Yeah.
This game wasn't supposed to be this interesting. It was not supposed to be this interesting.
Yeah. So, do you think this was good or bad for the Rams? Do you think this was a good playoff testing, or was this more?
I think it was a reminder to the Rams. I mean, this team shouldn't be here. They got you earlier in the season in Carolina. They almost got you again. I think, like, the Rams can beat anybody in this playoff. I think they needed this reminder of, like, y'all need to wake up. Like, you lost. You had the 1 seed in front of you. Stafford may still win the MVP, but, like, he had the MVP locked, and y'all fumbled all of that. So I think this was a good reminder they need to lock in. This is not a guarantee.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, I would say they're not a couple weeks ago, they were my favorite. I don't think they're the favorite anymore. Even in the NFC, I'm not even sure if they're the favorite in the NFC right now.
I gotta see Seattle.
I mean, I gotta see Seattle. Their path is at Chicago, and then assuming Seattle wins, at Seattle. I mean, that's a brutal stretch.
Cold stretch. All of those are cold.
And I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know. And I mean, if the 49ers were to win,
if you told me you're going to be playing,
we'll see.
You have to beat the Bears. Like, but preseason, you told me you're not going to be facing the Eagles. You're going to be facing you're not going to be facing the Packers, even though Micah Parsons is out. You're going to have to play the Bears, and either Seattle, who still has Sam Darnold. We'll see how that goes. Or the 49ers, who, by the way, lost George Kittle as well, who we'll talk about in a little while.
Yeah.
Dude, this is not... I mean, I get it. It's tough going on the road against those two teams. It's doable. This is very doable.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Do we have You got anything else you want to spend here on this game?
No, I don't think so. I think it's time to move on to Green Bay, Chicago. Dude.
Let's go through the recap. We got a lot to say on this game.
So let's go through the recap. Let's just say first half is all Green Bay. Like 21-3. Caleb looked horrified.
Comfortable on that very
Ben Johnson
on the very first drive. I thought he looked comfortable. Like, dude, they might be okay. And that's when it collapsed after that.
Yep. Yeah, so first drive, Ben Johnson's like cooked up 15 plays, whatever. They go down, and he looked comfortable in the game script. After that, Packers get the ball right down the field, touchdown. And then we saw Ben Johnson panic. Just completely panic. And by the way, I talked about
I wrote this down in mine
gone
too.
Wrong. We
I wrote it down
got it
on mine
that first drive. Yeah. We almost got this trick play gone wrong in the first half. Cole Kmet's coming around. He's looking to throw a pass. Almost fumbles. A tight end. Almost fumbles trying to throw a pass.
At least he didn't do it in the fourth quarter this time.
Got a little bit. Got a few yards or whatever.
Do it in the first quarter.
Yeah. Right. But so
the Bears actually went 4 for 5 on third down of that first drive.
Packers right down the field.
4 for 5, which was impressive.
Oh, yeah. They were moving it, and then Packers right away, touchdown. I mean, it was just surgical. Just boom, boom, boom. And they got whatever they wanted. Running, passing, whatever. Bears get it back, and this is when they start going for things all the time. Ben Johnson, on this next drive, goes for a fourth down on the 38. Yeah. And then he goes for a 4th and 6 later in the drive, and Caleb throws a pick. So Packers get it back, go right down, touchdown. And it was just all Bears. I'm not going to go through everything.
Obviously, he didn't trust his defense.
I'm not going to go through everything in the first half.
So he didn't trust his defense.
And that's exactly right. He saw what the Packers were doing to his defense, and he was just like, dude, we got to go for it. It doesn't matter if they get the ball at our 32-yard line or their 2-yard line. They're scoring. And I think he's actually proven wrong about that in the second half of this game. But all you need to know is 21-3. And here's a big play that no one's going to remember because it doesn't show up on any stat sheet or anything. They get down. Green Bay drives. 55-yard field goal. And Ben Johnson ices him. And the kicker makes the first one. Ben Johnson got the timeout before, but he kicked it like after the timeout was called. Makes it, comes back, and misses it. That's a 3-point swing. At the time, it's 21-3. Or it's 21-6 at this point. Nobody cares, right? It turned out to be a really big play in the game that we forget about. But anyways, to start the second half, Green Bay, all this momentum, all this dominance in the first half. Here's what they do. I think they actually had a 3-and-out at the end of somewhere in the second quarter. And they start 3-and-out. And then Chicago puts together a really good drive, settles for a field goal, and that makes it 21-6. Okay, so it was 21-3 at half. That makes it 21-6. Green Bay, 5-and-out. Caleb, then, if I was to tell you, they're down 21-3. Caleb throws a pick in the second drive, which he does. The second drive of their comeback, Caleb throws a pick in the red zone on 4th and 2 or something. Throws a pick. And, comebacks don't happen when you're down big and you're throwing interceptions in the red zone. That ends a comeback. And I will say one extra thing about this. We mentioned this last week, how against the tush push Ben Johnson was. Remember that conversation? And Ben Johnson had a quote when he was talking about the tush push in the offseason. He was like, I don't like going for 1 yard. I like explosive plays. Well, this situation, it was 4th and 1. He goes for it all, and what happened? Caleb throws a pick. So that comes back to bite him right there.
There was one point, too, that I wrote down.
Then
I thought that, this was the point where I'm like, dude, nothing's going well for the Bears, and they're not going to be able to come back. Because it might have been after what you're talking about. Green Bay has the ball. I think it was right after that. Green Bay fumbles, kick the ball around for a while, and the Bears kick it out of bounds. Yeah,
the lineman fumbles.
And I'm like, dude, if they can't recover that, this game is just over. It's not going to go right for them.
Right. they're down 21-6. Caleb throws a pick. Fumbles are not going their way. All this stuff is happening. But then that drive, that was like called back by a penalty or something weird. How does that drive wind up for the Packers? 3 and out. 3 and out. Then they hold them to a field goal, 21-9. And at this point still, the offense does not look good for the Bears. Like, we're deep into the third quarter at this point. I don't have the time written down. We are deep into the third quarter. The Bears are not doing anything on offense. Caleb's throwing interceptions, and somehow they're just slowly coming back little by little by little. And then this is when it changes. Green Bay fumbles the kickoff. Like, they fumble the kickoff. Bears recover. Let's see where we're at here. And then lost my spot. Anyways, they go down. Bears get a touchdown, right? The crowd is into it at this point. The crowd was completely out of it for large swaths of this game. They were back into it at this point. And then Green Bay goes down, and Matthew Golden turns into prime Deebo Samuel somehow, out of nowhere. Scores the long touchdown. You remember he catches it kind of in the flat, or maybe it was even a screen. Scores the long touchdown. You don't come back in games when your opponent is scoring touchdowns in the fourth quarter. But somehow the Bears press through, whatever. They miss the extra point, so it's 27-16. And then this is the moment of the game. 4th and 8, 5:32 left on their own 43. This is the game. And Caleb makes the biggest play of his career.
This could genuinely I obviously I don't know, where the Bears finish this playoff. This could go down as one of the greatest plays in playoff history. Period.
For sure. Ben, they're down 21-16. No, they're down, 27-16 at this point. If he doesn't
Game's
make
over.
this play, they get blown out.
It's 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game.
The game's not just over. They might lose by 3 scores. Like, there are so many ways for Green Bay to win this game now. If they can just run a little clock off and get a field goal, at that point, it's a 14-point game, and hopefully you're like 3 minutes left. There are so many ways this ends in a blowout. And instead, he makes the play. Then they go down. They get the touchdown, 2-point conversion. They get all of it, right? And at that point, when do they score? They score with 4:18 left, right? 2 points good. Green Bay is up 3, and this is when I can't even tell you how bad this sequence is for Green Bay. So they get a first down. Dobbs gets a big first down. Golden
Romeo
gets a
Dobbs,
first down.
by the way,
This
catches
is the situation.
his life on that
Green Bay.
play. I thought the game
He
was
had a
over at
fantastic
that
game.
point. Like, Dobbs made
Dobbs
that
was
incredible
awesome.
catch. I'm like, yep, this is over.
Dude, they got another first down after that. Matthew Golden gets another first down. And listen to this situation, okay? It is 1st and 10. 3:13 left. Green Bay has the ball on the 21-yard line, up 3. And Chicago has 2 timeouts. You have to win the game. There's no way you can lose that game. But let me tell you the sequence of plays that happens after that. Run it for no gain, and the Bears call a timeout. Incomplete pass. They don't like the look they're getting on 3rd down, so the Packers call a timeout, and then get a delay of game after the timeout. Yeah. So it goes from 3rd and 10 to 3rd and 15. They've ran no time off the clock, and then there's an incomplete pass, and they miss a field goal.
The delay of and so they missed the field goal by like an inch. The guy barely hooks it. So that 5 yards penalty, like, you think it's nothing. That was a big deal. That was a huge deal.
That delay of game was huge. And then the Bears get the ball back with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. Like, how do they get the ball back? 2 minutes and 40 seconds left, and they still have a timeout. That's impossible.
Also, by the way,
but Green Bay
has also missed a PAT at this point too. So that's another point off the board.
They've missed 2 field goals. 2 field goals and a PAT. And then, everyone, they go down. This is the DJ Moore touchdown, the little
wheel route
fake
kind of
screen
thing.
to DJ Moore.
Beautiful play design, by the way. Beautiful play design.
go back and watch the Bears Commanders game on Monday night earlier this year. Jaden hit a touchdown to Luke McCaffrey on that play. Ben Johnson I'm telling you, it is
my
the
man
same
saw
play
that.
X's and
He
O's
said,
was. Ben Johnson just saw that and he was like,
I said,
we can do that.
I like that. I like that.
We can do that. Now, a big play on this drive that no one's going to remember. They go down and score. One of the plays right before the 2-minute warning, the Bears the Bears sub, so the Packers go in and sub, and they have 10 men on the field, and LaFleur has to burn a timeout because they only have 10 men on the field. And that comes back to bite them in their last drive where they only had one timeout instead of having two. They obviously go down, doesn't work out. They don't get the touchdown, and that's the game. And the Bears win this crazy shootout, come from behind. Unbelievable. I can't believe the Packers lost that game based on the situation.
Yeah, I mean this. Oh my gosh, CJ. God,
CJ big play. Yeah.
Wait, we'll get to that in a little while. Yeah. You know the meme that goes around of the absolute cinema and the dude in the chair like throwing his hands up. That's what Saturday of the wild card was. That's exactly what happened. And dude,
yeah,
I
mean, it
think it's 7 times this season that the Bears have won in like the last 2 minutes of the game. 7 different occasions.
Yeah,
dude, I'm still not fully convinced that Caleb is that guy. I mean, he still makes a lot of mistakes. But man, when the going gets tight or the go gets tough, like Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams have figured out how to lock in. Those two, we talked about it at the beginning of the season. I was like, dude, I don't know if Ben Johnson and they still might not like each other, but dude, like I don't think they're going to work. I don't think their personalities match. Dude, they figured it out. Something clicked. And in a tight game, I might pick them against anybody in a tight game.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb started this game and it was rough, man. Like it was looking like, oh, the moment's just too big. Like you said, the first drive was fine. After that, it looked until really the fourth quarter. It was like, man, the moment is too big for Caleb right now. And he settled in and the talent won out. That play he made, rolling to his left, the layered throw to Rome on 4th and 8. Again, if he doesn't complete that, they probably lose by at least 14 points, maybe 3 scores. And the conversation we are having about Caleb Williams today is much different than the one we're having right now. The conversation today is like, I don't even know what we're talking about because it didn't happen, but like it's nowhere near where we're at now. Now we got guys saying, is he a top 5 quarterback in the league? I don't think that. But like that's what's happening now because of this comeback. I'm interested to see how is Ben Johnson going to treat this defense going forward? Because he completely lost faith in them in the first half, and then they come out and they force like 5 straight punts.
I don't think you can panic. He panicked with his defense. They got away with it, but he absolutely panicked. Like
panicked.
He was having 49ers flashbacks of like, dude, we're not going to stop these guys once. That's what he was seeing in his head.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, do what? Yeah. We'll talk about the Steelers in a little while, but it's kind of what the Steelers do is the Steelers never panic with their defense. Like, they are more than happy to punt as long as they need to, play the field position battle. So, that's not exactly Chicago's game plan, but like, dude, sometimes just go where the game's going and ride it out. You'll be okay.
And so I don't know if this can be the formula. I don't know if the formula can be fall behind 3 scores every game.
Can't have late game heroics.
They are
every single
3
time
and 3
in the playoffs. In the regular season, you can do it a few times. This is the playoffs.
They're 3 and 3 in games where they have trailed by 10 points in the fourth quarter. That's an insane stat. The rest of the league is like 3-150 or something crazy. They're 3-3. So like they've done it, but my goodness, I don't know. I don't know how Bears fans can handle it. I don't know how that's the formula.
I love this
but I
as
shared
somebody
this
who's
stat
not a
with you
fan
before
of
we
these
started
teams.
recording.
This was great. I couldn't watch this game if I was a Bears fan or Packers fan.
I shared this stat with you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before we started recording, the Bears and Packers have played 3 times this year. The Bears won 2 of those games, right? The Bears went 2-1 in those games. They never took 1 snap with the lead.
That is one of the craziest stats I've ever
Not
heard.
one time. Both games, the only lead they had, their offense was never on the field when they had the lead. The only lead they had was either as the game ended or they took the lead and the Packers took it back. They never took 1 snap with the lead in this game, which is just an
No
insane.
victory formation, nothing.
I mean, that's unthinkable that could happen. Yeah, that's unthinkable that could happen. But good for them. They move on. They're at home again against the Rams, and I mean, this is the benefit of getting the 2 seed, that you just stay at home. And the Rams are a tough task, but man,
it ended up not mattering.
both these teams are flawed. I think
It ended up not mattering, but man, if the Eagles, they lost anyway, but if the Eagles had won and got that 2 seed, how different would things have been? Like that's something they're gonna be kicking themselves
that's what
about.
I'm gonna ask. We'll talk about that when we talk about that
Nico
game.
Collins getting carted off the field, by the way.
Yeah, so good. Yeah, I saw that. Was it head or was it a leg injury? I didn't see. Well, never mind. On the Green Bay side, I mean, Matt LaFleur literally had an A+ first half and an F second half. I mean, like, melted. This is what a quarterback meltdown looks like for a coach. Melted down in the second half.
What do you? There were rumors they were going to get rid of him immediately. Now they're talking about bringing him back. I don't know what you do there as the owner, because I think LaFleur's a good coach. But he has proven multiple times that he can't get it done in the playoffs. This is not the first time this has happened.
No, I mean, I think you keep him. I mean, this team, you have to keep in mind, this team, I don't remember exactly what their record was with Micah, but they went 0-5 without Micah. Once he went down, everything was different. Like, when you have a guy like that,
Micah was like a quarterback.
San Francisco earlier in the year with Bosa went down. Like, yeah, it literally is. It is definitely your second most important player, and arguably your most important, because we saw what their offense looked like without Jordan Love. The defense without Micah was just
abysmal.
It's a killer, but that's what you have to do. In the second half of this game, 3 and out, 5 and out, 3 and out, you're going to lose. I don't care. I mean, I don't care how big your lead is. You're going to lose if you cannot move the ball for 4 straight drives. Man, it's tough. And it's the pre-snap penalties did it to them, and the pre-snap having to call timeout when you shouldn't have to, when you don't have 10 men on the field. And, man, and obviously the kicker missing 2 field goals and an extra point. I mean, those things, you can't do that in NFC North playoff games. You just can't do it. And
what are your thoughts? Because I've heard some interesting debates on it today. What are your thoughts on Ben Johnson and Matt LaFleur absolutely hating each other? Oh, me too.
I love it. That if there's one thing that the NFL is missing is a big rivalry. There's really, people talk about Bears Packers, people talk about, Ravens Steelers. Like, those rivalries mean something to those fan bases for sure. They mean a lot, a ton even. But like
organizationally, it doesn't matter.
Like me, like I don't get fired up for Bears Packers games. Yeah, like for a nationwide deal, I just don't. I'm not that into those things. But if the coaches come out and literally hate each other and they're saying F the Packers in the locker room and all this stuff, I'm more interested. I'm at least more interested.
I
so
absolutely
I love
it. Like I agree. That's something the NFL has been missing is a genuine like. And I get the people's arguments who are like, oh, they're the coaches. They should be better than that. They should be respectful for each other. Dude, it adds so much intrigue to this game. Like the NFL will print money with Bears-Packers games as long as LaFleur and Ben Johnson are there. Because everybody's going to want to watch because those guys hate each other. I love it. I absolutely love it.
I love it. I love it. Because you're a big Gamecock fan. I'm a Tar Heel fan. Like, the Tar Heels, Roy Williams, Hubert Davis, the coaches, they're always so respectful when they're asked about Duke. I wish they would just come out and say what Ben Johnson said. I would love that.
And it's not so much. I mean, it's a big rivalry, obviously, but like Dabo Swinney and Shane Beamer, the Carolina and Clemson coaches, they like each other. Like they're very respectful. They talk well about each other. I hate when Steve Spurrier was at South Carolina. He would intentionally dig at Dabo Swinney all the time, and Dabo Swinney would get so upset every time. And I miss that dynamic. I really miss that.
Yeah. Beautiful.
All right. We got anything else here?
I don't think so. I think we can go ahead and move
unbelievable Saturday slate of games. I mean, we could not have asked for a better mix. And Sunday, outside of one game, did not disappoint either. My boy went out there and did it, man. He did it. Let's go Jags Bills. Let's go Jags Bills.
Yeah, so I'm not going to go into the whole rundown, but first off, how do we feel about 1 o'clock playoff games? How did that hit you?
I didn't mind it as much. I don't know about you. I mean,
I didn't love it.
I got to watch football from 1 to 11.
I did like that part of it. But it didn't feel the atmosphere watching the game, like you could tell it was a playoff game, but something about it being 1 o'clock, I was like, is
the
this
sun beating
football?
down didn't look quite right.
The way this weekend is set up. Yeah, I know the way this weekend is set up, you had to at some point. Like somebody had to play at 1 o'clock on Sunday, but it hit me a little weird. But yeah, let's just get into the overview. We don't need to go play by play, I don't think.
Only thing I thought was interesting, if we're going to go play by play real quick, I thought Jakobi Meyers didn't drop passes. He dropped like 3 in this game.
Yeah, that's why they brought him in, because he didn't drop any passes. And he was, dude, if it wasn't for Parker Washington in this game, he completely took over in the second half. If it wasn't for Parker Washington, this one, I mean, I don't know. It could have been ugly for the Jags. I don't know, but this was a fantastic game. I mean, it was back and forth. Let's talk Jags first, because I didn't think...
Did he catch that?
I didn't think Trevor played.
I don't think he did.
No, I missed it. I didn't think Trevor played that bad in this game. You and Josh were really down on how he played.
I thought he played well overall, but he just... I mean, the mistakes were obvious, what had happened. Just glaring mistakes.
Yeah, so he had the interception early.
He just missed the guy. He completely didn't see it.
So that one he got fooled. He just straight up got fooled. Shaq Thompson, who I didn't know was still in the league, to be honest with you. That's a great you still playing right there. I'll give you another you still playing from this weekend. You'll love this one. I almost wrote this down. For the Panthers, Isaiah Simmons.
Clemson?
Remember him? First round pick out of Clemson. He's like a top 10 pick out of Clemson.
Didn't
he? I think he went 8th. He's a special teams player for the Panthers.
Dude, he was an athletic
Didn't have that
freak
one,
coming out.
He's the one who blocked the punt.
Coming out.
Yeah, he was. He's the one who blocked the punt. But anyways, so Shaq Thompson, I mean, that looked like Trevor. It didn't look like Moment was too big. It just looked like he got fooled on that one. He just did not know Thompson was going to be there. By the way, Shaq Thompson, I don't know if you know this, had a professional baseball career. Did you know this? He played minor league baseball. How you like these stats, Ben? For his career, 0 for 39 with 37 punch-outs.
Ooh. Ooh.
I think we know why he picked football. Over 39, 37 strikeout. Anyways, but Trevor gets fooled early, and then obviously the last drive of the game, like that. It's a big deal to throw a pick on the first play of the last drive when you have a chance. Like people will think, oh, he's just, he's down, not much time left. He's just doing whatever. No, that was like they could have put a drive together. They didn't have any timeouts. No, maybe they had one timeout left. I don't remember if they had one or no timeouts left. But
they had a minute left, but no timeouts.
They didn't have any timeouts. Okay. They could have put a drive together. Throwing a pick on the first play.
And you have Cam Little, who granted missed a kick, an important kick during the game at right at halftime. But dude, all you gotta do is get to midfield with this guy. So yeah, you got no timeouts, but you can stop the clock and get 30 yards in that time span. That's not hard to do.
Yeah, and he throws the pick there. But honestly, in between that, I thought he played pretty well. He looked a little jittery to me. Trevor, at times, I feel like watching the games, and I think it was pretty obvious in this one, he can... It's almost like he loses trust in guys, kind of like Aaron does sometimes. It's almost like he lost trust in a lot of his receivers throughout the year, and it was like, all right, it's Parker Washington or nothing. When he's got other guys who really can play.
You have Brian Thomas Jr. I know he's had a down year. He's still on the team.
He had like 3 targets. I mean, Brenton Strange barely got the ball. Jacoby Myers, every time he threw him the ball, he dropped it. So I get that. But like, that was a problem. And I think the biggest thing for me for the Jags, I think if Steve Cohen, not Steve Cohen.
Liam Cohen.
What's his first name?
Liam.
Steve Cohen's the owner of the Mets. Liam Cohen. I think if Cohen could have one thing back from this game, I don't know why they didn't run the ball.
As a
I don't
team,
know why they just didn't keep going to Travis Etienne.
They averaged 6.7 yards a carry, but that was like with a few like jet sweeps and stuff like that for the receivers. They got like 1 yard. The running backs were averaging like 8 yards a carry.
Yeah,
the Bills don't stop the run.
8 yards a carry, and they only got 14
don't stop
carries.
the run, dude. The Bills don't stop the run, and it wasn't like you weren't boat racing them either. Like it wasn't like you were having to throw to keep up with them.
No, and they went away from it. And 14 carries for running backs when they're averaging 8 yards a carry. When Trevor, like I said, in the middle of that game, I thought he played fine. He put together 2 really good drives. He had 2 drives in the fourth quarter where they scored touchdowns and took the lead. 2 different times in the fourth quarter they took the lead. But I don't know why they went away from the run like that.
No, they shouldn't have. That
and I think Cohen
would probably
like to have
win that game if they run the ball more. They really do. Because they were gashing the Bills' run defense. I mean, you had I don't think it was Tootin or a different guy. I was surprised how little action Etienne got. Etienne did not get the ball nearly as much as I would have thought he would. I mean, he had the touchdown late, which is great, but like I was like, from the first quarter to the fourth quarter, Travis Etienne completely disappeared from the game plan.
But when he touched it, he was good. Tootin, I think it was at the end of the first quarter. Tootin had like 3 straight runs for 10 to 15 yards, and I don't know. I think Cohen would like to have that one back. I mean, it's just we forget. Yes, quarterbacks in their first playoff game, it's shaky a lot of times. Man, so is it with head coaches. Like you're going against Sean McDermott, and we can say what we want about Sean McDermott. He has been there, and he has done.
And I was
going to
say that about the Bills too.
He typically does a pretty good job.
You could tell the experience on the Bills sideline was there. Like they did not panic one time in this game. They were completely calm and collected the entire time.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and anyways, I think the Jags showed, even though they lost, I think they showed this was a good team. Like
they're very good.
The
team.
last 6 weeks weren't a fluke. Maybe they were, they didn't play the best competition, so maybe it was a little inflated, but it wasn't a fluke. Like this was a really, really good squad, and it was a tough matchup for Buffalo.
Yeah, this was, and I guess it's a good point for us to transition to talking about Buffalo. But this is the one. granted, there are a bunch of other teams still in this playoffs that absolutely can beat Buffalo at any time. Like there are very good teams in this playoff. This was the one I'm like, dude, they do not. The Jaguars might be the most complete team in the AFC, and they do not match up well against them at all because the Jags are the number one run defense, and they did bottle up the Bills' running attack. I'm like, dude, this is the one I'm worried about, and they got past them. They did it on the road. So
yeah, that's the thing. Like, I want Josh Allen to make the Super Bowl. That's what I want. That's what I'm pulling for. I've talked about that for weeks. This was the one, like you said, this was the one that scared you because Allen in this game, and let's go ahead and talk about Josh. He was
beat up.
First off, he was all they had. Because Jacksonville is so good against the run. I mean, it's unbelievable how good they are against the run. Like, James Cook, I've got it here somewhere. He averaged like 3 yards a carry, 3.1 yards a carry.
I think the Bills as a team ran it like 21 or 22 times for like 80 yards, which is not bad, but it's not great.
And some of that was Josh Allen. Like, but I view that as like that's a Jag stat, not a James Cook stat, right? I don't think their line was bad. I don't think James Cook was bad. It's just this is what Jacksonville
on the James Cook front.
They have done
there were a few times where James Cook had the opportunity to kind of break loose and have 15, 20-yard runs. They tackled so well in the open field on him, so well.
Yeah. They are athletic.
They're fast,
defensive back
so
and
fast.
linebacker. Like, this team, man, I'm interested to see what they do with Travis Hunter. Going back to the Jags for just a second, because it seems to me like, and fantasy managers aren't going to like this. It seems to me like they've got a ton of wide receivers.
Defense, you're right. I agree with that.
But if he could be a monster of a corner, because their run defense is unbelievable. I mean, it's probably the best in the league. If he could be like one of the 5 best corners in the league, it seems to me like that would make that team
terrifying,
untouchable almost defensively. I mean, they would be Houston defensively if they had a lockdown corner like him. But anyways, that might be a conversation for the offseason. But so they can't run the ball, and Josh did what I've always, even with his talent, he did the thing that I'm always like skeptical if he's going to do. He just said, every drive he went out there, he just said, I'm not going to lose the game right here. I might not win it. He's got a lot of try to win the game on every play in him. This game, he just said, I'm not losing it this drive. And he just kept him in it. And by the end of the game, I think they were tired of tackling him, honestly.
He was beat up this game. I mean, he's coming into the game. Everybody knew he had the ankle injury late in the year. And then he comes in, goes to the medical tent after taking a hit to the head early in the first quarter. Then later, he bangs up his knee.
And by the way, I'm not discrediting the Buffalo training staff, but I doubt that was a real thorough concussion investigation by whoever was doing that. Like, I don't know who's the guy that's going to go tell Sean McDermott, yeah, Josh is out for the rest of the game on that one. That was a sniff test, concussion test is what that was.
You live? All right, get back out there. But yeah, he bangs up his knee.
Yeah, then you're back out.
Also, like, has a throw where he hits his hand, and you could tell he hurt his finger when he hit one of his own guys in the helmet. So this was a warrior effort from Josh Allen in this one, and the playoff experience showed through. You could tell, like, this guy has been to many a playoff game, many a big time playoff game, and played well in them. Like, he wasn't worried out there. One second, he was not worried.
This is Josh Allen's stats when trailing in this game. You ready for this? 14 of 16, 133 passer rating, 3 total touchdowns. Mm-hmm. That's his stats when the Bills were losing in this game.
This is one of his more impressive playoff performances, period.
I think,
like, everybody's going to remember all of the Chiefs games where he had where he was this close or threw for all these yards against the Chiefs. This was one of his most impressive ones.
I think, honestly, if this was 3 years ago, Josh Allen, which he's still as big and strong, as athletic, as good of an arm, right? But his stats were deflated this year a little bit. I think if this was 3 years ago, Josh Allen, I don't know if they win this game. Because I think he probably makes a play or tries to make a play somewhere that turns into a turnover. I don't know if he made a mistake in this game. I don't know if he made
sees
one
Khalil Shakir
mistake.
40 yards down the field and said,
Seriously.
I can fit in that window, and then it's coming back the other way.
Yeah. Yeah, or, he's running a quarterback draw and he sees James Cook behind him. I could lateral this right now. Like, that's been in the playbook before for him. And I truly don't know if he made a mistake. I mean, it was almost a perfect game, and I thought they were pretty conservative with their passing attack. They weren't doing anything crazy. Now they don't have a lot of guys who can win down the field. So maybe
I think that is part of it. Is they don't have a guy.
They don't. They clearly don't. And here's the thing. I've thought all year. I haven't said it because I thought you might throw something at me, but I've thought all year Buffalo was not. I thought they were not getting the credit for the weapons they have. Now, do they have receiving weapons? No. But James Cook was the leading rusher in the league, and they have a really good offensive line. So I thought, man, people are a little too down on their weapons. But in this one, that was taken away. Their thing is, we can run the ball. That was completely gone, and it was just him left. And he just willed them to victory. Had a big, 40-yard completion to Brandon Cooks, who they got off the scrap heap, going down for that last touchdown.
9 different players caught passes for the Bills. So he spread. I mean, he doesn't have a guy, and I'm hopeful, knock on wood, that this can sort of be a situation like when the Chiefs beat the Eagles a few years ago when Mahomes won the MVP after Tyreek Hill left. And they didn't have really a guy then either outside of obviously Kelsey. But it didn't matter because Mahomes just has trust in everybody. So I think that's kind of where Josh Allen is right now. He's like, I know there's not a dominant number one, but I can make it work with anybody on this team. So
it's all in front of him, man. And I don't see them being an underdog the rest of these playoffs. I think
they're already favored
about every game
against the Broncos.
Yeah. So, yeah. And as much as I don't know if you don't want to admit it or not, I thought this was a really good game by McDermott and Joe Brady.
It was.
I thought they had a good game plan. And I mean, they're really good when they're not facing Andy Reid and Spags.
Maybe that's the formula.
I don't know, man. This is going to be a fun run for Allen.
I'm excited. Obviously, I'm still nervous because, this is the one where everything truly is in front of them. It should be theirs.
Yep.
I'm still nervous. There's some good teams. I mean, obviously, we're going to talk about Houston a little bit. They manhandled the Bills earlier in the season. Denver's got a heck of a defense. They're going to Denver. Yep. Denver has a heck of a defense out there. But they match up better with Denver than they did with Jacksonville. So
way better.
We will see.
Way better with Denver because the way to beat we'll do a preview episode and we'll talk about that game. So I almost jumped into it too quick, but
yeah.
You ready to move on, Philly and San Fran? So for Philly,
I have less game stuff for this one and more just big picture.
Yeah, let's just talk big picture. It's what they were all year. I mean, this is the first drive. Actually, I thought they just ran it down San Francisco's throat,
which should have been the game plan the entire game.
It was. Yeah, it was Saquon. Dallas Goedert winds up getting the rushing touchdown. But, by the way, Dallas Goedert, if you count the playoffs, 13 touchdowns this year. I mean, what a season for him. But, anyways, spectacular season. But, anyway, I mean, they were just running it down the throat, and it looked like what what I thought coming into the game is like San Francisco just doesn't have the players. Everybody's hurt. I mean, how many injuries do you have to have on a defense before we count you out of the playoffs? And, I mean, obviously, Bosa and Fred Warner, but then, you know, they've lost even more than that. I mean, it's just they're on scrap heap guys at linebacker and scrap heap guys at receiver and scrap heap guy at corner. And being in the second, or from the end of the second quarter through like all the way through the third quarter, this is the Eagles. Or here you go. From 2:50 left in the first half through, let me see, through the fourth quarter, through the start of the fourth quarter, this is what you get. 24 total yards, 3 points in 5 possessions. They got 3 points because they got the ball with really good field position one time and got like 20 yards and kicked a field goal.
Interceptions or something.
24
Purdy
yards. No, it wasn't. It was. I think it was a big kickoff return, but it was 24 yards, 3 points in 5 possessions, and it's happened to them all year. They just go cold for a half, and when I say cold, I don't mean like some good plays, some bad plays. I mean like
we've said
can't
this.
Move the ball.
They'll go literal halves
unbelievable
of football without passing yards. Period.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know how many of those 24 were passing, but 24 yards in 5 possessions in the NFL in a playoff game when you're playing a team who's got scrap heap guys everywhere. Everywhere. At every position, basically, other than running back and quarterback, they got scrap heap guys. And they they couldn't move the ball. This was the problem.
Losing the 49ers. That's fine, because we're going to talk about him in a second, but like that's Kyle Shanahan, Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey. They can put together an offense on anybody. There's no excuse for putting up, what did they score, 19 points? At home against that defense. At home.
19. So if I was to tell you they're at home, they're obviously way healthier, right? I mean, Philly, are they missing it? Lane Johnson didn't play the right tackle.
Okay, Nick Bosa's out. Don't talk to me about that.
Everyone else basically is playing. Yeah, everyone else is basically playing. 49ers are super beat up. Purdy turns it over twice. You don't turn it over at all. You would say, oh, of course the Eagles win that game. Oh, and by the way,
George Kittle tears his Achilles in the second quarter.
Yeah. Yeah, their fourth most important offensive player. I mean, and my gosh, and you get 24 yards on 5 possessions, and that's your season right there. That's your season. And A.J. Brown and Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo. And it's
Sirianni
it's
running
kind of a mess,
A.J.
man.
Brown down to yell at him late in the game is wild.
So that's the thing. Like, I get it. AJ has been very vocal this year, and he had
a
worst
horrible
game as an
fourth
Eagle.
quarter.
Probably.
One of the worst fourth quarters you could imagine.
I mean, horrible game, right? Horrible. And when if you're going to talk in that way, like, I'm going to need you to perform when it's time, right? But him and Sirianni getting into it on the sideline doesn't bother me at all. Sirianni sprinting for 40 yards to get in A.J. Brown's face, that's
crazy work.
Dude, that's just not head coach behavior. That's not head coach behavior in the NFL. Like, if there was a local men's league and that happened, I'd be like, what's happening right now? The NFL, in a playoff game, Sirianni way too often makes it about himself and makes it about whatever beef he has with the wide receiver. He drives me crazy. He absolutely drives me crazy. And he got worked in this game. Worked.
I mean, this is not a defense of Sirianni. Kyle Shanahan, that is the best coach in the NFL right there. My gosh, that is the best coach in the NFL.
He was excellent, man.
But there was no competition between Sirianni and Shanahan. Nothing. That's like me going up against Patrick Mahomes in a quarterback competition.
And there was never going to be.
It's not close.
Yeah, I mean, there was never going to be. Shanahan, man, he was that first drive. We talk about the first drive for coaches and the first 15 scripted plays or whatever. Dude, it looked like they were about to score 60 after that first drive. But it was just they went right down the field. I mean, good gosh, Demarcus Robinson looked like Julio Jones in his prime in this game. And again, another scrap heap guy. So they go right down the field the first drive, and I literally was thinking, oh shoot, this offense is just different. They found something, and they're going to put up. But then they go completely cold. They don't score again for a long time. Purdy, or they get a field goal, but that's all they get for a long time. Purdy throws 2 picks. Purdy had the worst moment any player had all weekend with the second interception he threw because the Eagles could not move the ball. It was just punt, and you're going to win because the Eagles can't hold on to the ball. He throws that pick, and I thought it was going to get him back into it, but the Eagles, they just settle for a field goal. They don't get a touchdown. But, I mean, Shanahan, that trick play out of it was the first play of the fourth quarter, yeah. I believe, right? Yeah, first play of the fourth quarter. And like I said, when trick plays work, you look like a genius. When they don't work, you look stupid. But that one obviously worked.
Here's an interesting fact. Jauan Jennings had more completions on yards 15 more down the field than Jalen Hurts did. Obviously not all Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts was 0 for 5 on yards, on passes 15 plus down the field. Obviously 2 monster drops by A.J. Brown, so that you can't hold that against Hurts. But that's just the Eagles as a whole, man. That's just them.
Yeah. But, Jennings 1 for 1, and again, I said it earlier this year, I can't imagine there has ever been a running back that's a better receiver than Christian McCaffrey.
It can't be.
I mean, the touchdown catch, the touchdown catch from Jennings was, dude, genuinely, how many wide receivers how many wide receivers in the NFL don't catch that pass?
More than you think.
A lot. I mean, that is not an easy catch because the ball was kind of coming from his right almost. It was like right over his head, and wide receivers will tell you that is the hardest play to make, the one that is coming right over your head, not at an angle where your head's turned, where you're like you literally almost have to lean back to catch it. He makes that play, and then at the end, the final touchdown they get, which was, I think, the best drive of Purdy's career. Let's see, they get the ball back. See if I can find it real quick. I'm not going to be able to find it quick enough. But he gets the ball back, goes down, scores the touchdown, and it's Christian McCaffrey. They get him on a linebacker again. He cooks him, scores a touchdown, and he's unbelievable, man. He cannot be quantified by a box score. You look at the box score and you're like, he really wasn't that good. You didn't watch the game. Like, this dude cannot be quantified by a box score. He's one of the best players in the NFL. Just flat out.
And it's got to be put on some of him, too. Like, you talk about Shanahan, which is obviously great. That's well and good. McCaffrey knows how to find these openings, dude. Like, he has a high football IQ as a player.
And the route running, too, and the hands, it's just, he plays like a receiver. Like, if he wanted to, like, after his contract's up with San Francisco, if he wanted to go be a slot receiver somewhere for a couple years, he could do it.
Oh, yeah.
He legit could do it. Like, not take as many hits, that kind of... He's that type of player where he actually could play slot receiver in the NFL.
If he wanted to play slot receiver, he would be one of the best slot receivers.
Yeah. He'd be fantastic. So...
Yeah, that's... this
was a big loss for the Eagles, though,
obviously,
man.
Patullo's gone. Is Sirianni gone?
Yeah.
I'd get rid of him, but...
It seems like they're not going to. As a Commanders fan, man, I hope they keep him. Like, so bad, I want them to keep him. He is the only thing... and Patullo this year. But, like, that is the only thing keeping them from... dominating for the next 2 or 3 years while they have this little cap space window. I don't know. I think he stays. Patullo's gone. A.J. Brown's got to be gone. They act like they have a good relationship. A.J. Brown didn't speak to the media yesterday.
He's gone.
I can't imagine both of them come back. I can't imagine both of them.
I love that.
You just can't do it. So
Tom Brady on the broadcast, if you listen to it, said that Sirianni and A.J. Brown have a great relationship. Literally as that exchange is happening. I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure there exchanges like that happen. And yes, the coach and the player have a good relationship. Though that can be true. But when the coach sprints 40 yards to get in a player's face, I've never seen that before. I don't think I'll ever see it again.
Too, and I get it.
I can't imagine
he drops that pass, but it's not like he got a penalty or punched somebody doing a stupid penalty. It's a drop pass. It happens in the NFL.
Could you imagine yesterday, before George Kittle got hurt, him dropping a pass and Kyle Shanahan sprinting 40 yards to get in his face?
Shanahan would probably pat him on the back and be like, "It's fine. We'll do it next time."
It's just, and I mean, there's clearly there's bad blood and stuff there or whatever, but that's crazy. It's crazy.
Anything else on 49ers Eagles?
No, I think we can move over. Chargers.
It's another one.
Pats.
You're probably the same boat as me. I have less actual game stuff and a lot more big picture stuff with these teams.
Yep.
I thought May did not play well in the first half. He played a lot better in the second half. A lot better. Made the plays they needed to win. But you could tell, he had those first round jitters in this game. For sure.
Yeah, he definitely had first round jitters, and I think he gets away with it because the defense was so good. I think the defense really not just helped him out. I think the defense saved him here because, the defense keeps the lead the whole game. The Patriots had scored 9 points going into the fourth quarter, and he had thrown the pick early, on the 10-yard line, and he was not playing well. Their only offense they had, if you were watching the game, the only thing they could go to, really the whole game, was either Drake May scramble or a dump off to Ramondre Stevenson. That's all they had. They had Hunter Henry winds up scoring the longer touchdown, and Keyshawn Butte had one long catch. Other than that, the only traction they could get was May's legs or dump off to Stevenson, but it didn't matter because the defense had kept him in the game. If the Chargers had put up 21 points, and we're looking at this game at the half, and it's 21-6 Chargers instead of 6-3 Patriots, May could have unraveled. We don't know. We'll never know. But I think the defense keeping this such low scoring really helped them, and I think this is good for their playoff future that May got this game under his belt and it didn't hurt him. I think this helps them going forward that he didn't play well in this game.
That's probably the way I look at it is, look, you can't expect a rookie not to be wary and have some jitters in that. It's just going to happen. This was just the perfect storm for the Patriots to get this out of the way. It was... May wasn't horrific. He made some really good plays. The throw to Hunter Henry, which is a touchdown, fantastic throw. Layered that in there, dropped it just over Derwin James's head. Beautiful throw, absolutely phenomenal. So,
right,
you saw the flashes with Drake May, but
now
go ahead.
I will say he made what almost was the worst mistake of the weekend when they are up. I believe at the time they were up 16-3, and the Chargers couldn't move the ball, for anything, right? And we're going to talk about the Chargers. And he fumbled with 6 minutes left. He got strip sacked with 6 minutes left in that game. Now, thankfully, the Patriots lineman jumped right on it. But, the only way LA was scoring was a defensive touchdown, and he almost gave them one. Because there was nobody if LA would have picked that ball up to stop him. Thankfully. Yeah, and then it's a one-score game. Thankfully, he gets away with it. And like I said, the defense, man, you would have seen a very different second half of Drake May if they were down 20 and he's having to force it. Maybe he throws another pick and then it just unravels for him and it looks like a disaster. He still didn't play well, but he finds a little traction. He gets the touchdown. He whatever. He turns it over twice, but they advance. They move on, and that's all you can ask for when it's your first time playing the play.
Yeah, I really
just
think
to move on.
There just isn't a ton to gain from this game for the Patriots, if in my opinion, just because of the game script and how it all went. Like I didn't learn anything about this team for the playoffs, if that makes sense. Like I know the same amount about them.
Yeah. So well, I mean, yeah.
The glaring, like I said, there's not a lot to glean from the Patriots. There's a whole lot to talk about on the Chargers side, a whole lot.
Yeah, we need to go pretty quick too, but let me get your Herbert thoughts.
So I have multiple Herbert thoughts. First of all, I think he could win a legitimate lawsuit against the LA Chargers. I think if he wanted to put a case together, he could do it. First of all, obviously, I'm a Herbert fan. I will defend Herbert vehemently. I'm not going to say he's innocent in all this. I mean, this is a game. It's 6-3 at halftime. Your defense keeps you alive literally the entire game. The entire game, the Chargers defense kept them in this. Yep. He has got to figure out something. And I get Herbert being a little jumpy too, because look at his previous playoff games, especially last year. Mistake after mistake after mistake. 4 interceptions. Not all of them were his fault, but turnover. Like he's overly conservative in this game, and it happened more than once. Go back and watch some film on it, where he had like a lad open deep, and he doesn't either's not confident he can put it down there, which obviously Justin Herbert can, or he's just afraid because of the offensive line or something. But he was very, very conservative, to the detriment of the team. If I had to put a percentage on it, I would give Herbert probably like 20%, because he left plays out there. But man, dude, if we're not going to yell at Patrick Mahomes for getting blown out in the Super Bowl those 2 times, and I'm not saying we should, okay? He got mauled by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he got mauled by the Eagles last year, okay? The same thing just happened to Justin Herbert, and I get it. This is a 3-game sample size. But, man, there probably aren't any. Let's be honest. There are no quarterbacks in the NFL who would have had a successful day in that offense yesterday. It was unbelievable. He was pressured on 30 of 31 pass attempts. I mean, he was pressured on 30. Like, there were 44 dropbacks, like he scrambled a few times. 30 of 30. I mean, he threw 31 passes. He was pressured on 30 of them. That doesn't include the times he scrambled. You think the offensive line wasn't terrible? I mean, it was better than usual, still horrendous. And you rightfully pointed out the receivers as well.
Yeah. So, to me, like, my big gripe with Herbert from the game, and obviously he didn't play well, but the only thing I can lay at his feet is Drake May turned it over at the 10-yard line.
They had to take advantage of that.
Can you make one play? Can you make one play for me? I mean, that's really my biggest thing. And Brady talks about this a lot on the broadcast. Brady's been Tom Brady, that is. He wasn't on this game. But something I've picked up from him is, like, people always complain about offensive line when there's a bunch of sacks. Quarterbacks get sacked. Brady does a good job pointing out, like, man, sometimes the quarterback misses a blitz. And I think that probably happened a couple times throughout here. So those are really the only 2 criticisms I'll lay at Herbert's feet from this one. I thought the O-line in this game, and I know the pressures are crazy and the sacks are crazy.
30!
I thought the O-line was like a C- in this game. Like, I did not think it was an F. To me, watching the game, when they only had 4 people rushing or maybe 5, I thought the O-line did okay enough. Were they great? No. But I thought they were okay enough. To me, the problem was in the first half, no one was getting open. This was the worst game I remember by a collective receiver unit that I've watched. I've seen individual receivers have worse games, but like Herbert's standing there and no one's open. I know we've seen on Twitter a few plays he missed, but by and large, it was blanketed. I mean, absolutely blanketed. And when Mike Vrabel saw that these receivers cannot get open, he just said, oh, wait a second. The receivers can't get open, and we're trying to get pressure with 4. How about we just blitz every single play? And that's what they did. I would be shocked if there were 3 plays they didn't blitz in that second half. I mean, that's all they did.
I know they're not getting open.
Because he realized
can we call a screen? Something? Yeah. Can we call that?
So that's the other thing. Dude. So I thought this was a horrendous look for Greg Roman.
If the Chargers retain him, I might pick them to be 3rd or 4th in the division next year. I mean, this is Did you know this, Landon?
Yeah.
Greg Roman has been in 6 playoff games with either Justin Herbert or Lamar Jackson. His quarterback's record and stats in those games, they are 1-5. This is Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson. 1-5. They complete 55% of their passes. They only have 2 total touchdowns between Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson with Greg Roman, and they have 8 interceptions. The Harbaughs need to move on, both of them. Move on from Greg Roman. Holy crap.
Yeah. It was just, they were blitzing every play, and they just continued to either have only the 5 down linemen, Oronde Gadsden would be there to chip and then run a route, and maybe they have 190-pound Kamani Vidal in the backfield, or maybe they go empty set. And I'm like, dude, they're blitzing every play. You need more blockers. I know the guys can't get open. None of it matters if you're just going to let them blitz 7 and have 5 blockers. And it felt like they did that every
I've said
play
this earlier in the season.
I heard people on TV
they
say,
call the games like their line is completely healthy. Like, I get the line being bad, but they call it like it's fine. Like, no, make an adjustment.
No. This was the equivalent. What they did with the offensive line and the protection. And again, what do I know? I don't know a lot about protections, but I can tell when there's 8 people rushing and 5 people blocking, that's not good. I know that much. And what they did with this offensive line, knowing what kind of shape it's in, is the equivalent if Dave Canales would have gone out there this week and asked Bryce Young to drop back 50 times and run 10 quarterback draws like Josh Allen would, and then blame him for the loss. It's like, no, dude, it's not on him. You asked him to do something he could not do. They asked this offensive line to do something they straight up could not do, and this is the result. And again, Herbert did not play well. That playoff resume is looking rough at this point through 3 games. But it just, they asked this offensive line the 5 linemen and Kamani Vidal to block 8 blitzers. And it's just, you saw what it looked like in the second half. The second half was brutal. I'm like, dude, it was malpractice. The beating Justin Herbert.
I know you were saying the line wasn't bad, and I get it. Not that they weren't good, but not that they were good, but like it wasn't that bad.
They weren't an F. They were a C- or D+.
I guess where I'm leading at that is like, dude, every time I saw the Chargers on the field in the second half, like I would see Justin Herbert get hit, and like he's late. Like you can tell, like my man is in excruciating pain on that ground every time.
It's brutal.
And I'm putting a lot of this on Harbaugh. I'm putting most of it on Greg Roman. Like y'all have got to help this guy out somehow. Like I don't know what you need to do because we're not schematic guys, but my gosh, man. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I get the criticism of Herbert. I get it. This is 3 playoff games. I'm there. He's got to be better. But I don't understand how you can watch in a few years. We're not going to remember this. We're just going to be like, oh, Herbert's 0-3 in the playoffs. You cannot tell me you watched every snap of that game,
exactly,
and you're saying Justin Herbert is the reason they lost. You and I are not watching the same football game if that's the case.
Exactly. That's exactly right. In a year, we won't care how the offensive line play. It's just going to be the stats are the stats and the numbers are the numbers. Here is the difference between him and Mahomes, though. We've seen Mahomes do it, and we have not had that game from Herbert yet. So this is the stats are what they are without any of the good, and so I believe he can climb out of it because of the talent. But I mean, it's going to take a legit playoff run for him to kind of shake this, and I mean like AFC Championship game playoff run for him to start to turn this reputation
and I
around.
still think that's very much in the cards for Justin Herbert. Obviously, the talent. I think Jim Harbaugh is a good coach. He's very set in his ways. He's got to be willing to make a change. He's got to move off of Greg Roman. That was inexcusable. It's been all season too. It's not just this game, but this game was the culmination of everything that's been a problem with the Chargers offense. They've gotten this far on sheer willpower for Justin Herbert, and Mike Vrabel saw the weakness and absolutely destroyed them. Absolutely crushed them.
Yeah.
So that's where. Also, the last thing, Bradley Bozeman, their center, ranks 41 out of 41 on PFF ranking for centers. How's that possible? There should only be 32 starting.
I'm out on PFF. Don't bring up PFF to me. I'm completely out. I mean, those guys are just.
All right, I know this has been a long episode, but we got one more game that just
Let's
wrapped
do 5
up.
minutes.
I don't think there's much to say on this game. The
5 minutes. The Steelers didn't have the
man.
players. They're just not good enough. They just straight up didn't have the players. That division, we thought it was going to be the best in the league, and it turned out to be a really, really bad division. They were pretty good throughout the year of beating the teams they were supposed to beat and losing to the teams they were supposed to lose to. And they were supposed to lose to this team. So the Texans were just way better. I think really the only question, and I don't know the answer to it, is the Aaron Rodgers. What's he going to do? But as far as this game goes, they were, It was, I'm looking at it right now, it was a 4-point game in the fourth quarter, but then 2 defensive touchdowns. They weren't good enough.
To me, this game is strikingly similar to the Chargers-Patriots game of it was tight, and then the better team just made the plays that they had to because the other team just didn't have it. And there's a glaring thing we're going to talk about on the Texans. I don't know when you want to transition to that.
Yeah, I mean, we can now.
Obviously, the defense, unbelievable defense. Like I had a feeling this was going to happen because this defense and a completely immobile Aaron Rodgers, they don't have the running game. They don't have the weapons on the outside. They don't have that good of an offensive line to where they just keep him upright the entire time. Like the Texans defense was always going to swallow Pittsburgh alive. That was always going to happen.
Yep. Yeah, this was, dude, they're really good. And, they get enough out of their running back play. Their receivers, we need to see what that Nico Collins injury is.
It didn't look that bad.
If that's serious,
but he got carted off.
It didn't. Dude, that changes everything. Honestly, for them against New England, because they have a lot of guys who can beat you at the receiver position.
There's only one reason.
Without him, he's a legit one in the NFL.
Oh, absolutely.
He's a legit one. And it's kind of like a pitching staff in baseball. If your one is gone, then everybody has to take a step up from their role, and they're just not suited for it. Like, Higgins is not a one. Kirk is not a one. But you're going to ask them to be that if Collins is out. So that's a big thing to watch. But it's all about Stroud.
There's only one reason this was a one-score game in the fourth quarter. One singular reason. And it wasn't because of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
No, Stroud is just. He turned it over 3 times.
He
2
fumbled
fumbles and a pick.
5
3
times.
and he fumbled 2 other
They
times.
recovered 3 of them. He fumbled 5 times and threw a bad pick.
Yeah, we can't do it. We need him to be the. Can you be the 11th best quarterback in the league? Not left in the playoffs because there's only 8 teams left. The 11th best quarterback in the league. That's what they need him to be. If he is, they have a chance to win the Super Bowl. If he's the 19th best,
I don't
they might
want
lose
to
next week. So,
but just because of how good their defense is, I want to be able to push my chips in and say the Texans are the best team and should win this. I can't do that, and it's solely because of C.J. Stroud.
You can't do it. Yeah. So hopefully he learned something from this one, and hopefully it's a fun one next week in Foxborough. I think it should.
Yeah,
be.
I mean, I don't know who wins.
We'll preview
we'll
it,
talk about when we preview. I don't know who I could pick to win that game right now. I need a day to think about it. But yeah, it's a long episode, but there was a lot to go. They'll get increasingly shorter because there's less games to talk about, so in depth.
There's less games.
But yeah, wild card weekend in the books, on to divisional, and we'll catch you later this week with our preview episode.